I'm Obs on Obs Avenue, and today we are talking about chores. I want to hit on the why we do chores, why it's important for children to develop these life skills. Also, the when do you start them, what kind of age do you introduce this at? How are these implemented, what kind of methods there are out there? What do we use in our home, what kind of works, what kind of doesn't? And also what kind of expectations to have from your children. And keep in mind, this is what we do in our home. It looks different everywhere, so keep an open mind as you watch this. Okay, to start off is the why. Why do children need chores? For me, what I have discovered in my observations is that they need to have value. And what I mean by that is you have your family and you have your mom that does these things, your dad that does these things. Well, the children need to feel like they have value and participation in the home. And so it increases their value and their self motivation, but what would you call it? Just like what you think about yourself, it goes up. So it also increases responsibility. When you want adults to have all these responsibilities, well, it starts as children in the home. And so you need to start creating that responsibility on them. You have this task to complete. This is what is expected out of you. Now you are responsible for doing that. And so they learn those things. They're learning so many things every day, and why not add that value from you? They also get work ethic and pride in their work. When you teach them how to do it a certain way, what you expect out of them, they complete it and it looks great, then they start taking a sense of pride in their work and the things that they are doing. So these are all the reasons why children need it. They need it to have self-value. They need to learn work ethic and take pride in their work. And also it helps you in keeping your house running. So why not add that in there too? Okay, when do you start introducing chores to your children? I start as soon as they start walking. And what I mean by that is there's age appropriate things that they can be doing as soon as they start walking. My children always started with the laundry basket. They would help me push the laundry basket into my room and would hand me the shirts as I would hang them up, and they felt that self-pride. They're helping mom. They felt valued, and they're also learning. So when do you start? You start as soon as they start walking with age appropriate things. Also, when do you complete chores? Do you just do it once a week? Do you do it morning? Do you do it night? This looks different in every home. This looks different in my home. In summertime, we do it in the morning because then we are gone all day. We work till like 9 o'clock at night, whatever we're doing in our playing or activities. We don't have time to do chores at night because we're doing other things. So summertime, we do them in the morning. Come school year and wintertime, we do our schoolwork, we do play, we do everything, and then come 5 o'clock at night, we hit our chores hard before dinner, and then we're done. So it changes, seasons come, seasons go, so you can choose when. How do you teach your children to do chores? And my biggest thing here is by example. You start with that child who is just starting to walk, and you teach them by showing them over and over on how to do it. And I have learned that until about age 5 or 6, they haven't been able to do chores independently. I can assign them, hey, go and pick up all the toys in this room, and struggle and fight that it's not done. I come in 30 minutes later and they're laying on the floor, rolling around, taking their cars all over, and nothing's gotten done. I have learned that up until about that age 5 or 6 range, I need to be there coaching them and lifting them up and saying, you can do this, and building up their confidence and teaching them the proper way to put it away. So even like take cleanup time, I'll come in, and when they're really, really little, you start with, I'll put a car in, you put a car in, and make a little tiny game out of it. And then you move on to where you take care of the cars and I'll take care of the balls, and you put just work alongside them. they really thrive on that. They build their confidence and their value that, oh, mom's so proud of me for doing this kind of thing. And then as they get older and you start introducing them, okay, now we're gonna learn how to clean the bathroom, or we're gonna learn how to vacuum this room, or those kind of things. You need to show them by example. You're gonna have them there with you as they've been there with you all through their toddler years. You can have them there with you and show them, okay, here's how we clean off the counter. We take everything off, we spray it all down. Here's how we wiped, where we wipe all of it rather than just this zigzag horse across the counter and it's done. Mom wants it wiped up and down to where the whole surface is clean. Here's what I expect. And then it's their turn. Now they come in and they do it, and they get to practice with you while you observe them, not just once, probably a good 3 or 4 times while they get the hang of it. And then that expectation is set. They've been checked that they can do it by themselves. They know what's going on. And now it is time for that responsibility part to come in. Now you have the assignment to clean the bathroom. You know the expectation, you know how to do it properly. Here's your responsibility, tackle the job. And then the job is tackled, and then comes in that pride of work. Let's see. What kind of methods have I observed are out there? Lots of many methods. The first one is chore charts. This is the one that I use, especially during the school year. Summertime, things change, but for the school year, I use chore charts. It keeps my house running smoothly. It keeps me on task of what needs to be done so that my house doesn't fall too far behind. And that as I'm got so many things going on and I have to decide, okay, what chores should we do today? My brain doesn't always complete the task of what needs to be done, and then the house starts falling down. So a chore chart helps me to stay on task, and it helps my kids to where now I don't have to tell them, hey, you need to do this and this and this. They get to take pride and responsibility in themselves and say, okay, what's this job? I know what I already have to do today. I can go get it done right now and get free time later or whatever. And so chore charts work for me just because now I'm not hounding my children, which I love that. I don't want to take control and just manipulate every step. There's the job right there. You know what's expected kind of thing. And then nothing has to come out of my mouth, and more patience is on my part. Here is kind of the chore chart method that I use. I create it on Google, not Docs. Let's see, it's Google Excel. That way I can create just a new page and just print the new page and keep the same template. And so what I do is I have 5 days a week, and there's kind of like a whole month schedule. That way I have a rotation system. Here's a closer look. On the days, I actually pick a certain area or room in the house. So this creates a simpler life rather than trying to tackle the whole house every single day. We just tackle one room and do it well, and then move on to the next room the next day. By doing this, we still get the whole house tackled every week, but we do it in a deep sort of method, which keeps it clean longer. I get a deeper clean. So living room this week needs to be vacuumed and these things, but then I've added throughout the month. So once a month, my blinds are getting dusted, or I'm getting those deep cracks behind furniture or under furniture. Let's clean off, let's pull off all the cushions, let's vacuum everything. So those deeper methods can be tackled once a month. I also add myself on here. So this is color coded. So each kid says I'm red, and here's the day I have the red job. And it is all set according to, like I said, the age appropriate things for that child. And so say this red child, they have to organize the toy shelves. So they take off some of the toys and they put them in the correct bucket, because sometimes as our little siblings come in and they just throw them on, things get unorganized. So let's keep our house organized, so they get to, that's their task for the day. And I have added myself on here, and this is a good thing to help me stay in check, to where now I have washing the sheets once a month. I have cleaning out the refrigerator and washing down all the shelves, and all of my things are getting tackled for me as well. And so this is helpful throughout the year when things aren't as crazy and more structured. Now, come summertime, it's a different story. This isn't relied on as heavily because we are out of the house all the time and things start piling up, per se. Also, when we go on vacations and we come home and you empty out the car, things just pile up and get out of control. So what do? Here's some quick methods when you need a quick clean house. Say you have visitors coming, say it's just come out of control. What's a quick method to use? I use an M&M or treat system. So here's what I do. I have my pile of treats or little M&Ms. And in a separate bowl, I write down all the tasks that need to be completed. We need to pick up all the cars, pick up all the books, vacuum the rug, wipe down counters, unload dishwasher. I write down all the little tasks that have been piled up, but I break them down into small little jobs. And I fold them up and put them in the little bowl. And now they all come and grab one, run and complete the task, come back and grab an M&M and do the next one. The person who gets the most tasks done gets the most treats. And then at the end, I'll give them a little good one. But this one works in a half an hour. I can have whole house completely clean top to bottom in a half an hour. It works, and I only use it sparingly when I need it the most. And that way it's fresh, it's new, and it gets the job done. Let's see, the other methods that I have seen is some people use a permanent chore system where this child is in charge of just the dining room. They're in charge of everything that happens in the dining room. So the setting the table and cleaning off the table, the sweeping, the wiping, they take a responsibility and pride over that room per se. I haven't necessarily tackled this one with such a large family. So much goes on, everybody just helps everywhere. But it did sound like a good idea in the sense of learning a pride over a room. Some other things, let's see, I'm going to move on to extras. What extra chores, I guess you could say, that aren't necessarily implemented in every home, but I have found joy in implementing in my home. We do a meal, I guess, chore, but it's not really a chore. So I have 5 children, and I've given them each a day of the week that they come help me learn how to cook. And they get to choose certain meals like lunchtime or something. They get to be responsible for those things. They get to help me make the bread for the day. They are learning how to dice up vegetables for dinner and brown the meat. This has been a big one-on-one. I get to talk to them. I get to visit and create that mom and child bond. They learn that more self-pride, I'm so important, mom needs me and I can do this. By helping me with these meals, and they look forward to it when it's their day and it's their turn. I would highly suggest letting your children start taking over cooking with you, and then it will help them later in life develop those skills when they leave the house, and they can take care of themselves and they can help take care of others also. Meal cleanup. What do you do at meal cleanup? Is someone in charge of something specific, or does it end up all falling on mom of cleaning up dinner and then you get exhausted or whatever? This has happened to me, especially when my children were younger, and then I would leave it aside and then let it pile up until morning and then tackle it in the morning, and it was exhausting letting it happen, the pile up method of doing it later, because it's too much for me to handle right now. Why not share the load? So here's what my saying is at mealtime: no one leaves until the job's done. We've got someone clearing off the table. We've got someone washing the table. We've got someone washing dishes, someone loading dishes, someone cleaning off counters. No one leaves until the kitchen is completely cleaned every time. And this method works, and it creates a family unity of working together. Dad steps in and he helps, helps with drying the pots and pans that mom's washing or whatever. The whole family gets in. We get the job done in 20 minutes, and then it creates less anxiety for me to have the clean kitchen. That way, the next time I come back into work, I don't have to start over by starting with cleaning, and I can't just move on to the next task. So meal cleanup, divvy it out, let everybody help. Let them learn how to start washing things by hand and doing it in a proper way. And then lastly, we also have morning chores. And what I mean by this is I have a a certain list of things I expect every morning after breakfast. I expect their teeth to be brushed, their beds to be made, them to be dressed and hair done, and their plates and stuff to be taken care of from breakfast time. They're each responsible for their own area after breakfast. And so we just call this morning chores. After they get morning chore, the whole list tasked off, then they get to put something into their reward system. Reward system, how does this work for you? For me, I have some type of token. We just use beans because I have several of them. And so we have a big bean jar. And then they each have their own little jar. After they complete a chore, or say their morning chores or their chores for that day, we also include schoolwork and good behavior things that they earn this reward system for. They complete the task, they take the bean out and put it in their jar. Now they get to spend those beans. So say I want to go buy a pack of bubble gum. It costs me so many beans. I want to stay up late with mom and dad and watch a movie or play a video game or something with them. It costs so many beans. And so now this reward system, they get to build up and take more pride in it, and then they get to spend those beans and create that sense of joy and, what would you call it? There's a reward there for doing all these wonderful things that they're doing. Always praise their good work. Don't get too much down on the things that they're doing wrong. By praising that good work, they want to keep doing it and doing it more. This is all I have for you. So just keep in mind, not any system is perfect and not every day is perfect. And so don't be too hard on yourself when things do start to fall behind the cracks. You've got the next day to start over and try again with your patience, with making things run and work together. But those successful days are amazing. Here's a system to put a tool into your pocket, to be able to pull out and use and implement into your home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.